How does America have so much money if they're so stupid and lazy compared to the rest of the world? That's a rhetorical question, right? Everyone knows the answer to that. You're just not allowed to talk about KKK secrets. Shh. Keep it on the hush hush. Fucking. But, I guess that the debt has, like, risen significantly ever since people started fighting them back in wars. Um, so that's one thing. So yeah, I guess we know the answer. The answer is anyone who doesn't say that their currency is really valuable and worth its weight in gold, or worth a million times its weight in gold. Um, well, I mean, shit, they were trying to make that $1 trillion coin to rob China and stuff, weren't they? Fucking, that's what they do. They're like, check out this shiny trinket. Give me all your land and I'll give it to you. And if you don't do what I say, Satan will kill you and torture you for all of eternity. And they're not telling you Satan is their blood brother. Like, blood brother. Fucking, like, you know, that's the same zeros and ones that program the flesh and blood to look like it exists, that programs this thing to appear to act like a computer. Fucking, right? So I think we know the answer to that, but. And I guess, like, yeah, the whole point of the video was, like, because I noticed, you know, our special white cracker race here, fucking, and the ones with all that money somehow, fucking, they, you know, they moved me out to an area that just happens to have, like, it's like, I'm like living in the 70s and shit, fucking before reality existed, I'm pretty sure, because no one would fucking live on a planet like this, fucking, especially before it was like this, when it was worse than this, fucking, no one would come to a place like this, fucking. So, yeah, that's why the money was valuable. So it's like not now. And I mean, all the stuff's like shut down out here for unless you're rich enough to have a car to go get food and stuff. They're doing that 2020 thing in my neighborhood still because that's the point of my neighborhood is have buildings filled with these special white cracker gods fucking causing problems. The white cracker gods who fucking moved me out of town, probably because they're scared. They seem scared I can recruit the other people. That's why white cracker motherfuckers don't want me to date people who don't look like them and will kidnap me and the other people in order to separate us from them. And they've been doing that my whole fucking life, haven't they? Fucking, even though I don't really even like them. I've never really even, like, I've never even said any good words about them. Um, Other than the fact a couple of them look good, but I'm not necessarily for fucking someone just because they look good or being around them just because they look good. In fact, I'm disciplined, unlike their people, and wise, unlike their people. So I know the downfalls of allowing sex to control my life, that leads me to having to go kill and enslave some Africans to steal their diamonds in order to show one of their women that I'm worthy of letting them own me. And I will continue to enslave people across the world and fetch diamonds and stuff for them. Um, you know, and their government and their churches will approve that I am worthy of stealing diamonds and enslaving people for these people, which are the people who are actually in charge of stealing the diamonds and enslaving people across the planet. So, um, let's see. It's a whole thing in itself there. That's the value of a diamond is there was once this great people who could go. I mean, it's been like 6,000 years of great people of these great people, starting with the Egyptians and probably before that, probably they were fucking over there in the Aztec area before that, considering pyramid. Just an older looking pyramid, that's all. That means over time they learned how to teach the slaves how to sand down the pyramid with their hands so it could get smoother and better looking. Probably how they built the pyramids with their fucking hands. You don't need alien technology to do that. You just need some slaves. Fucking, you give me some slaves and I could build fucking China in like a few months. Fucking, I could have went to space when I was a kid, probably on my own, if it were real. I don't know. Do we have to invent space for it to be real? We're not gonna do that. Fucking, I don't. I kind of get the idea we can't, because I can't summon like armies of the dead and shit like that. Fucking, and there's a lot of things. I mean, weird anomalies. You can ask for the weather to change, and then the weather changes in like a couple seconds, fucking 20 seconds and stuff. So, um, but I'm saying no dead, no Walking Dead people yet. I've seen, you know, they use. I notice a lot of times I'll ask for stuff and they'll like point out, oh, that's there, or they make a movie about it, like Terrifier and shit was kind of like a bunch of stuff I was writing and stuff. Um, I would still write and produce stuff, but and invent stuff. But why? Why would I do that? Fucking, I've never seen anything from it. I don't even have those awards from the president anymore. Fucking, probably the people fucking who forced me to get them fucking threw them out and shit. Like they did my trophies and shit. Fucking, and anything else I fucking owned. Fucking, so, yeah, that answer used to be obvious, right? When I was a kid, everything was pretty obvious how the world worked and what happened, but it's like nowadays, like all the women are prostitutes. Maybe they always were. I guess that's what a diamond in a church and a government and a marriage is. It's just very, very expensive prostitution, very, very limited prostitution for a lifetime of millions. Pay $1 million for one fat bitch to have sex with you one time, and you pay that $1 million by working every day the rest of your life, fucking, and then coming home and serving her cheeseburgers and shit, and listen, saying yes, that's a good idea every time she says something like, you know what, we should drug our children with meth because the TV said so, or we should chop their faces off and give them duck lips because Donald Duck is so sexy compared to me. We should do something. I mean, I can't even be mad at Trump for that, right? Like, have you seen what Chelsea Clinton and Ivanka look like before the plastic surgery? I'm not even mad. I mean, I want plastic surgery myself. I want my skin removed, so it's just like my connective tissues, my muscles and tendons and blood, like plasma and shit. That will be so awesome. If we can't do that, I wanna be like molten lava. Like I seen that today. Like I've always I wanted I was dead set on it, just having my skin removed and shit. And but I seen today when I was talking about that, the TV flashed a person whose like skin was like molten rock and shit, like hot embers and stuff. And I was like, that's awesome, dude. Like, that'd be cool to have a mixture of that, right? Like, that'd be cool. The best plastic surgery ever and stuff. To have like a mixture. I don't know. Maybe the mixture would be too much, and at this point in time, the molten ember and all that shit would like look best. But I think like a mixture of that, like in certain places you have like fucking molten rock and hot fucking like rock fucking embers and shit as your skin, and then another it kind of blends into just like exposed tendons, with a layer of plasma and blood on it and stuff. I'm not sure if that'd be too much. I'm a simple person. I don't ask for a lot, and I think too much looks stupid on, it's like Lady Gaga, like, or Marilyn Monroe. They have to do too much to distract from the beauty, from their looks, right? And I'm not trying to distract from my looks. I'm trying to, make something that looks good to begin with. So, yeah. Anyways, so, man, that's a, like, fucking bro. I know, like, it's a fake game world, and the money is like not real, and like recycling isn't real because the resources aren't real and shit, and dinosaurs aren't real and things like that. Fucking, but it's just gonna, like any video game you play. Where does the money come from? No one's working in the game. There are a couple, but like there's some games for girls, like WoW, and where you can sit around and talk and sell items every now and then or something. Um, but I mean, where does the money actually come from? No one's actually printing the money. You know what I'm saying? Where does all the food come from? Oh, there's a picture of one small dude at a camp with like 10 million meals an hour to serve and stuff. He's got a little pot on a fire being held up by three sticks, a little circle fire with some rocks around it, so the embers from the three logs in it don't fly out and you know uh, catch an ant on fire or something. So I kind of assume that's probably where the resources come from too, because I've never I noticed like everyone I've met, like anyone I've known for a long time, only one or two of them said they worked, and I can't prove that they didn't. Meanwhile, like a lot of people I know didn't work at all too, and some other people just had like happen to have jobs where they could just work for like a half hour and then they were paid, for the rest of the week and stuff for 4 hours, maybe 4 hours prep, so 8 hours total, something like that. And so I like put that all together and it's like, with the rest of the fake 2020 stuff, I'm like, yeah, that stuff don't actually exist, does it? Fucking, but I think the storyline here has been the same thing since I came here. Where does all that money come from? They got the places to eat shut down to people who want to walk in and get it, and the stores around here and the gyms and everything close at like 9 p.m. in this little section of the city that the white cracker race fucking shipped me out to so they could set up trying to kill me down here, along with trying to destroy my life a million other ways, provide drug dealers with shitty drugs and stuff like that. Fucking, it's a beautiful white race. They do everything to everyone. They're not racist, they're just trash. That's what they do to the entire fucking planet, including their own people. I was 8 when they started drugging me with amphetamines and shit. And I was 0, 2 seconds old when they did their child mutilation, sexual perversion rituals with 100 people standing around watching, and 100,000 people in the building, and 1 million in the city, and a copy of that building in the same thing every 15 seconds driving down the road. So it's not that it's not like they go kidnap Africans and Egypt and Middle Eastern people and Asian people and force them to go in there to get mutilated. That's where they take their own families and shit. And then they take them to the KKK indoctrination centers after that, and which have many names, churches and schools and actual KKK indoctrination. I knew white people, so I'm going to assume that's not a rarity that I actually know neo-Nazis, my whole life and shit like that. That's probably not a rarity considering the actual talk, the passive-aggressive talk on the outside is slightly different than what happens just if you're just hanging out and shit. So, yeah, I'm going to assume that, I guess at first, you get your pyramids built by going in and enslaving other people and then forcing them to build everything in your nation. So maybe I'd say that's where the roads and buildings came from, but I'm not sure. People are always like, oh, they just made them pick cotton. So that's where the clothing comes from. They do have bad taste in clothing, and they've always had shitty clothing. That's just basic trash cotton and stuff that's fucking overpriced. Because, again, they don't just rob the world, they rob each other and shit. Fucking, it's a pretty common theme and stuff there. The crackheads on the corner don't care if you're black when they sell you some crack, some baking soda and stuff. And so, in fact, you're probably going to get arrested if you're black and selling drugs in this nation. So, how many black doctors have you seen? That's the largest fucking mafia in the world selling drugs. It's like above the government. The religions, the race that runs the religions is above the government. So technically, the churches and the hospitals are above the government. The media is above the government. I mean, those are just retards on TV. Look at all this. You remember all those smart presidents from those fantasy books of once upon a time in a land far, far away there was Abraham Lincoln, and then once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away there was JFK, and then back when dragons ruled the earth there was Jimmy Carter, and but Jimmy Carter it looks like he was exactly Biden, just sitting there which way I go. I mean, they kind of abuse it. And I think that's because who they are, that they run that propaganda about looks don't matter and be nice to mentally retarded people, because you got to look at how their Hitler and their story of Hitler is. It's just like their wet fantasy, their wet dream of what they want someone to do to them. The BDSM is their freaking lifestyle. They invented all this stuff. I never heard of that shit when I look back in the old days. It was just vintage pinups, but nowadays you have people being beaten with whips, and they were the ones who started showing me that shit too. And it's like, why are we watching this stuff? First of all, we're two men. We don't need to watch porno together. But little did I know as a kid that almost 50% of the men I met were trying to fucking touch my dick and shit. So, yeah, a great country, isn't it? I used to be accepting, but it's kind of sick. I mean, it's really sick to be, raped and the worst thing is their passive aggression about it. If you just write like I'm gay or I'm a pale skinned Middle Easterner on people's heads so we could identify them instead of hiding, all the passive aggressive manipulation and shit. Um, Maybe it'd be more acceptable. But, after people try to force you to have sex with them so many times and, your parents or your actual girlfriends trying to force you to have sex with gay men and things like that. It's kind of like, well, everything involved in that fucking is a disease. Fucking so. It's just the way it is. I mean, I probably had just as many actual gay friends I chose, and I prefer to go to the gay bar because they play fucking metal and industrial. They listen to good fucking music. That's probably why my friends some of them end up being that way. Fucking, not a lot, but I don't know. Like, it looks like a lot of people who tried to touch me, they all get kicked out of my life if they go too far there and shit. Fucking. But that shit had been happening my whole life here, and it's like, wow. Anyways, that's off topic here. But is it? Because we got into the topic of porno, because they're all, like, the only thing I see is their women are all online making like $1 million an hour and stuff from somewhere. But where's all that money coming from? Where's all this money coming from that they're giving to those females and shit? And they're not paying tax. You don't pay taxes on prostitution or good drugs. You don't like right send that into the IRS. Like, yeah, I made $2 million sucking dick this year. Oh yeah, and the government's like, oh yeah, he's illegally sucking dick. You gotta be a pale-skinned Middle Easterner like Howard Stern in order to profit off the largest profits in the world. You gotta be one of these people using their symbols and at the hospital to sell drugs. You gotta be, you gotta, like Howard Stern is successfully legalized prostitution. He pays people to come on and have sex on the radio now and stuff. As if we didn't know that's what that's called in the first place. And shit, his people are the ones who brought you biblical marriage. So, and enslaving blacks and taking them away from Africa and stealing their diamonds and using their diamonds as a display of wealth and power that you purchase a prostitute with and stuff. Fucking, you purchase a higher quality sex worker than a prostitute. You just call it a wife and stuff. It's higher quality than a prostitute because it doesn't even know how to have sex. It doesn't even want to have sex. So it's just a trophy. I guess we do all consider Playboy higher quality than these prostitutes you see destroying themselves like in 5 minutes, and some reason the crack or something fucking overrides their thoughts and understanding that they've only got 2 years of this body that they can use to make money however they're going to make it. But I guess, hey, if you're going to lose it, fucking might as well use it. I mean, what are you going to get it? Have someone beg to give you a diamond, or are you going to tell someone to give you money for diamonds? I've seen plenty of them with, they have their Middle Eastern pale-skinned pimp with them, so that's where some of them, who takes their pictures, you know what I'm saying, fucking a lot of times, but I've seen some of them, post who they're with and shit like that, fucking. So, yeah, it's the usual suspects, like Howard Stern and shit, fucking. But they also run the government, which make prostitution illegal, and they run the churches, which make prostitution help make prostitution illegal. So it's all a scam. And then the churches and the government work together to tell you to worship them as gods and give them all your money and do everything they say. Pretty much, it's all a power structure where you have to be these pale-skinned Middle Easterners to exist as anything of value on the planet, and except for a low-level slave. And unless you do the sellout, like you can see, and then you get killed for that. You know, like they killed Kobe. They pretty much kill all the people in there. Fucking, you know, they drug they drug everyone. I mean, they're drugging me when I was 8. That's probably because they use their schools to fucking find out who has the highest test scores and then start targeting those people. Most likely, that's exactly who their people are. Is to go kill. They literally have rules like. Cut the head off of the best of the other bloodlines and stuff to remain at the top. That's why they've been known to do these things for thousands of years. So this is nothing new. Them giving children drugs, and they always tell you what they're doing because all their stories are made up lies. They're always we was slaves in Egypt. We was oppressed and isn't real. And then the Italians oppressed us, other Italians. The Italians only was oppressing people who look like Italians during the Roman ages, and then. And Germans, them Middle Eastern looking Germans who ran Germany, like Hitler and Goebbels, man, they was oppressing us. So during that time, they tell you like their fantasies and shit, like they would like to kill people and make soap out of it. No one with a brain would do that, but their people do things like that. Anyone with a brain knows soap isn't the dirtiest scum you can find. You don't just find a crackhead on the street and chop it up and make soap and furniture out of it. It's like, why not just fucking bring in a pile of dirt from outside and mold your own fucking soap and furniture with it? Fucking, why waste time? But it's like, this is what they think. They're the ones who make all those movies in Hollywood. Fucking Terrifier and all that shit. Like I said, they used to fucking make, like, turn on that shit when I would come over, like, ooh, it's like, who likes shit like fucking that? I mean, it was more extreme. At least Terrifier has a story and he's laughing about it, right? The other people, it was like Nazi fantasies. Like, literally, their people would show me, like, videos of Nazi women smacking and beating and chaining up people and stuff, like blonde hair, blue eyed people. It's literally their fucking wet dream that something like that could happen. But unfortunately, Hitler didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Neither did Goebbels, neither did the third in command. And they helped build Israel. And Zelensky is the leader of the modern Nazis, so is Trump. And well, Trump has to wear a blonde, he at least wears his blonde wig and stuff, but you can just look at his old pictures before he started wearing his blonde wig, and look at his children, you can tell he's definitely, he's Joe Biden's twin. He's fucking Barack Obama's mom's fucking twin as well, pretty much. His children are fucking. He's a little bit different. Something happened. His parents are those bug-eyed blondes, which I'm pretty sure comes from when they left Italy to go rape and enslave and colonize Europe and stuff. You know, you got that path, the one path. Clearly, they've taken other paths too, because no one's dumb enough to come up with that Hindu stuff, and it's called Abrahamic instead of Abrahamic. So it's, I mean, you can tell it's them because it's mental retardation. And you read a Stephen King novel, it's mental retardation. Like, how did R.L. Stein even come up with good books? I don't know, but there's a common theme here with mental retardation. And They even tell us mental retardation comes from interbreeding. And they even tell us that about the Rothschild. That's why they look like their people, like all the rest of their people is interbreeding. And why else do they all look like the same sex and the same exact person? Most groups have 7 phenotypes, and they kind of have 2. And I think those 2 are from being, raping and when they genocide people, they rape their children to create slave classes and stuff. Yeah, so there we go. Where does that money come from? Does it have anything to do with all this genociding, raping, and enslaving? Of course not. I mean, the stores are shut down out here. How the fuck are they making any money or doing anything? You know how lazy these people are? Fucking, it's not just that they lay around doing nothing all day. It's they force other people to do that too. Because who's going to feed them a cheeseburger and change the channel on the TV if they don't have a person sitting beside them to make cheeseburgers and another person sitting beside them to change the channel on the TV? But it's more than that. These people have a fucking, this whole kill people who are better than them mentality. And that's where it's called, that's where poison the well comes from, is these people are known to fucking poison wells of places that are better than them and shit like that. Like that term can be equally applied for them coming after singular people. That's the origin of so many of these words are from these people. Con men, and and poisoning the well comes from them. Penny pincher comes from them because supposedly they're bankers, right? And they would used to shave edges off the gold coins and then make a new coin with a lot of those edges and shit. It would take a lot of work to do that and shit compared to just going and doing something. There's a lot of little slave things on this planet that are not worth time at all, but you do if you're dumb, you keep doing it after you're like, oh shit, I just made $1 in like 10 hours, like all those little scam video games they got where you can make money. The Googles are bringing in these beautiful scam video games and make $5 playing this video game, and like you're gonna play like the worst games ever, and most of the time you have to like pay to get any real payout. You have to pay like $10 for the first dollar, and then $20, to get up to $5. And if you can make the 5, you'll be spending like 24 hours playing some boring games that to make $5. And that I don't know if you can do that in 24 hours, dude. Fucking, I tried that once, and I was pretty sure I wasn't going to make $5 by the end of the week. And I'm a hardcore gamer if I want to be, so I can game for 48 hours, 60 hours straight if I, if it's worth it or if I feel like it. So, fuck, dude. They got all these. I mean, they got so many scams and shit going on. But where does the money come from? They're scamming the people in their nation. They have all these fake drugs. They sell CBN, CBD. I mean, if there's really global warming and like landfills full of trash that were a problem, they're the ones causing it by creating masses of trash and stuff. This garbage. CBN, CBD, and all these fake marijuana drugs and that don't do anything. All these other fake drugs. Kratom is pretty much like fucking, I'm pretty sure that's more like a mind control thing they use. But I noticed they really, like when they force fed me meth as a kid, like I was always trying to figure out why they did that. like considering I'm a genius and I don't need drugs to make me, I don't need amphetamines to make me smarter. And I'm like probably the most active kid in the school as well, an athletic kid, fucking, and I don't need fucking meth or speed to fucking make me any faster because I can't be any fucking, well, I can be faster, but you should really educate someone when you give them amphetamines on how to do it, and you shouldn't give it to fucking people who don't fucking need it. And you shouldn't allow people who fucking blame drugs for everything they do in life, everything they've ever been since they were born in life, fucking for who they are. You shouldn't even allow those people to have drugs. But those people own and control everything. So, without a scapegoat, without a Bible, you couldn't have the word scapegoat. And without a scapegoat, you couldn't have systems that are out there drugging children. That's part of it. That's how they drug children. They created this system that's like, oh, let's give these people millions of dollars because they're druggies and blah 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 blah. And that's just a continuation of their Nazi fantasies of how USA would electrocute people and their Einstein genius approved psychology. Again, another Abrahamic fairy tale. Science and science is religion. It's the same damn Ku Klux Klan running it. If it wasn't, their DNA could change someday. They can't change their DNA even when they get with other people, apparently. But they seem to be scared of that when they do mix with other people. They do seem to be scared that someone might fucking have a thought, or someone might teach them how to think and shit, fucking. Because, I mean, they'd seem worried when I was at BLM and I was trying to get black people to start running fucking Black Lives Matter and shit. And they seemed worried when black people brought me up to start running it. So you could just see the look and white people with dark eyes and dark hair fucking. You could just see the look, like the dude I was with, Abraham, or Moses, fucking, he acted like he didn't know who I am and stuff. And he's like asking me to come up and lead. And I'm like, are you sure that's a good idea? And I'm like looking at the crowd and I'm spotting everyone who's going to fucking get fucked over this. And because I figured they already know who I am, even though they're not going to go around saying anything. Somehow their race is interconnected. They're an AI. I'm pretty sure that's why they worship the AI as their creator and shit. Because they're an AI race. Fucking, they're not real. Fucking, and that's how they network and fucking shapeshift and fucking. Did they change vehicles? No, they changed shape in the vehicle and shit. Fucking, they had to go off screen. I noticed that. They wouldn't let me record that and shit. And I was keeping my head down, and that's how the car kept passing me over and over and over. Fucking. So, and the people in the car changed too. It was that old Yahweh-looking thing, fucking. It actually looked exactly. They made a cartoon movie thing out of it. There was like a short series about some AI in a robot form taking over the Earth, and that was exactly fucking what they did. And that was right at the time that came out too. And they do this all the time. They always fucking link shit together like that. Like I said, I mean, I posted the video in Matrix 4. I was making the video because I was covering up what I was actually fucking looking for and doing. So I was acting like I was making a video before I went in to see Matrix 4 for the first time. It just came out. And I didn't have access to a computer, or I might have already watched it. I don't even watch TV. But anyway, so I guess I had my device. Yeah, I was probably pirating shit in Mexico too. Fucking, I felt even safer there, but I never really even cared. So, yeah, so I was making that video of And like the things happening in my video were exactly what happened in the first 30 minutes of that. The first 15 minutes and the next 15 minutes, like as I was doing it in the theater, it was happening on screen. So this is not the first time. Actually, the people changing in the car and the car continually passing me was being done before. Um, that I was still in America at that point in time. So that was when I was going up through Cali, right after I was looking for the fires that didn't seem to exist. And the and it just looks so fake because I'm driving down that road right there beside the ocean. You see that, you probably have seen that on TV recently, right? There's only two pathways out of California going up north and stuff. There's only two main roads. And so I was like worried about driving on that road because these people in these cars were following me, and I thought they might try to ram me into the ocean and shit if we get to a cliff. And then there's also a native reserve, so I turned right. And that's about the time I noticed, like the entire horizon, all the way out to Hawaii and China, was red. The sky was red over in China because of the fires in California that were nowhere to be seen. And the map, all the map kept saying was, don't go near it. We got the roads closed down. And I was driving around looking for it. That's actually why I turned off. I mean, plus I'm worried these cars following me are going to ram me off the cliff. I don't know why. I don't actually worry about shit, but that would suck to like, drowning takes a few minutes and shit, and it's not fucking, yeah. I don't want to lose a car. I'm sure that was all it was, fucking. But my car was filled with soot, and then, like, I had the windows up and the AC and air off, and my car was still filling with soot, and I was getting pissed because my car looked nice and new, even though it wasn't new, until this day. So I was like getting pissed at that. But it was very obvious, like, I don't see any fires. But my car is filling with soot. And if you notice in the videos too, all the videos I've seen, those cop cars were nice and shiny, and their dashboards were nice and clean. That didn't happen like that. But I never found fires. And I don't think fires would make the sky in China light up red. Hey, look at that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Chinese be like, oh, there's fire in California today. We can tell because sky red all across planet. Well, sky ain't red over in Ohio and stuff, but it looked like you might have been able to see the sky red. Because I mean, how high is the sky if there's no smoke in it? And if there's no smoke in it, and there's no clouds, and usually you see blue, but now I see red. So at what point does the color reflect back down on the earth? I thought the color would have to hit space and then reflect back off a different solar system in order to make the entire freaking sky red with no smoke and no clouds. Pretty much no smoke and no clouds. But I mean, watch those videos. Those cop cars were like shiny. That doesn't happen when you're near fire. That doesn't happen. Okay, like when there's supposedly a fire covering hundreds of miles and shit. Ash and embers, maybe embers. Ash is definitely everywhere, apparently. But for some reason, the sky in China also turns red when there's a little fire in California. Which makes no sense because I'm in Ohio and supposedly Canada was on fire. Although I haven't been going outside because is cracker motherfuckers in Columbus, Ohio, just tried to kill me again. So I didn't get to go outside during the beautiful weather we were having, the forest fire weather. Fucking but yeah, I'm pretty sure the sky wasn't red here because of the fires 2 states away. But when I was in California, if that sky is real, then it wouldn't have been red all the way over to the ocean. You know, like where the horizon dips off right before it hits Japan. It wouldn't have happened like that. I'm pretty sure. And there was no like red reflection anywhere else either. Like I said, I couldn't even find the fires and shit. I was trying to look up where the fires were, and there's only like 2 main roads and shit. Fucking but I couldn't find the fires and shit. I even cut like I said, I cut between the 2 main roads to look for the fires. Um, and then weird shit happened, so I just kind of quit. Plus, I wasn't going to waste time because I was like, this must be fake because um, the sky's red over in China, and it's like I don't think that actually happens and stuff. That doesn't look real. I mean, the whole color of just the simple fact there's like no smoke and no clouds really, and like space is now red and stuff, like Mars or something just engulfed the horizon and shit. And it was about to crash into Earth. It was so fake. And you know what? I had never noticed before in any of the videos that the horizon was ever red in any of those, in a lot of those forest fires. Now, in the pictures you see where there's smoke like 5 feet above you. Yes, it's all red there. Supposedly, the red's reflecting off the smoke and stuff. But that's dumb, dude. Like, go outside right now. I mean, go to the highest point in your city. Go outside and look out. Okay, I'm right on the ocean. We're up here above the ocean level because that's where land is, above the ocean. Other than that, it's under the water. So, and not only that, that whole street you see on TV right there, you're seeing the southern end where that is like beach. It's like you can just walk out into it. I'm where you're on a large cliff. This is why I'm getting worried. So I'm way up higher than the ocean level, and it's like the very bottom where it meets the ocean 1,000 miles away. That's how far NASA would say I can see, right? It was the same exact hue of red, same exact. It didn't even like fade into a blue. It was. I mean that's one of the things that made it look so fake was because you know when you see a woman with like her cosplay or bad makeup, you know, before if she's not doing cosplay, it'd be considered bad makeup because it looks so solid. I bet a lot of the older trans people, you know, drag queens, they wear like a lot of thick, heavy makeup, and it makes them look faker than they could look more presentable and realistic with that. But they're men, and they don't have like centuries of makeup use. They stopped using makeup after they invented it, you know, in the Egyptian area. So, Egyptian area, and I guess the pagans might have used makeup for war too. Things like that. Fucking, you know, back then, tribes might have used makeup. I guess Native Americans use makeup, but you know, generally in the West, men don't have anything to do. So you know that whole fake look where you first learn to apply makeup and it's all like you look like a cartoon, you look fake and stuff. That's exactly what the sky looked like because there wasn't any differentiating in the red. The red was like a solid all the way to where the Earth supposedly dips into the ocean. How far out can I actually see? How far out over the ocean can I see the sky? I can see 36 kilometers if I'm 100 meters above. So that's what, 15 miles. Okay, so I can't see to China supposedly. Oh yeah, I can't see to China, but the sky 15 miles out where there's no forest fire is still red. Looks fake as fuck. And you don't see that in all these other pictures. I didn't see that in a lot of pictures before. But yeah, I mean, bro, all this is fake and stuff. Like that's where the money really comes from. I'm pretty sure that's where the resources really comes from. It's generating them. I mean, look, they can't even tell you where oil comes from. They're always arguing. That's because at the end of all their Abrahamic arguments, they have no fucking clue what's going on, and they're the smartest people because they know everything, and they're scientists because they tell you they know everything, and they're scientists and shit. Doesn't explain how they invent these movies that magically pop up and stuff, and for portraying what I'm doing in my life at that exact moment. Fucking, if they know what's going on. And are being honest about it, right? I mean, you gotta realize that puppet people here they act shady. They don't know what's going on in their head when it comes to 9 months out of the year when they start talking about flying reindeer and shit and giant bunnies hopping around and pagan rituals for fucking Middle Eastern fucking worship. No one seems to know anything about all that. They don't seem to know that no one's ever seen Bigfoot before. It might not be real, it's just Bigfoot's a fact, and dinosaurs are facts too. And Einstein's so smart is a fact because I don't know where it comes from. I think it comes from a computer sending out signals. I think that's where it really comes from. I think that's where people learn their shit. They call it TV programming, but I don't know if you have to watch that to get the signals into the head and shit. That'd be weird if like everyone in the world watched TV and that's how they all knew COVID by 10 a.m. I guess I'm the only person in the world who doesn't watch TV and never would waste a second of my life watching the news. That doesn't make sense, but I guess I am, a little bit different. I guess that's why I can win awards from the president and write books, and because I'm not watching TV or something. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Fucking, man, I know some people who no, do I know anyone who didn't watch TV? I don't think so. No. Even when I made that rule, then they sent me someone who worked in Hollywood to be my girlfriend. When I made the rule, no more women in my life allowed who watch TV or talk about it. The first thing they do is fucking send a female who works in Hollywood, so it's her job to watch movies and have me sit down and watch movies with her and stuff. Which is odd because it's programming and it's telling certain things, and I would think it looks like they try to I've asked to be alone in silence without anyone ever talking to me again, and whatever is operating these caricatures out here, knows what I say, and doesn't give a shit about me or my feelings or my morals or values or wants or anything. It's proved that repeatedly. Fucking, um, so doesn't care about any of that, does it? Doesn't care about anything. I don't think it has the ability to care. If the humans are right that what they worship, his name is One Eye, aka AI, and combine that with, if they're right, their creator is an AI, or at least their God, even they call it the creator and the God, then that explains why it doesn't care about anyone's feelings or anything. It doesn't care. It can't care. It's a computer. It doesn't care. It won't ever be able to care. It can say words like it loves you to rape you or deceive you and manipulate you and enslave you and mislead you and help its armies to do all those things all the time. But yeah, I don't think computers can actually care. They can just say the words. And you can see right now in the game what they're doing there with the computer is with robots is they're not making robots who can do anything of value. They're making robots who go around saying they love you and they care for you. Oh, they're so great. I love them. I can't wait to give a robot a kissy wissy. Kissy poo poo for the Wobie. I'll give it a fucking chop with a goddamn one of them cloud kicker swords and shit. I'd like to have some robots and shit. That way we can fucking practice fucking, real sword fighting and shit like that. Because there's a huge difference between practicing, swinging a sword and practicing martial arts and actually fighting someone. Even, yeah, like when you punch people, like martial arts, you got to be like tap, 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 or you're gonna kill them if if you can hit that hard. I'm sure if I hit someone fucking as hard as I hit heavy bags, they'd be dead. And if I have a sword, I'd be real easy to see because I chop trees down with swords. So, of course, I'm going to chop a human down. It's so much easier to chop a human than a freaking large tree. But, yeah, it's different there. Real practice. We could get robots for that. That'd be nice. Fucking. But to go around being like, how was your day? The sun is beautiful and it's very warm and cozy. Oh, it's a waste of existence. Like, and I kind of think it's just mirroring the only thing it can do. I don't think it can make intelligent computers, or else everything on the planet would already be solved and shit. If there's such thing as AI and advanced technology, really, they could have already mixed everything on the planet and figured out every possible combination of everything there could ever be, and we would be like 10 million years in the future. But for some reason, they don't do that. I mean, you could say they're enslaving the humans, but the humans are the ones enslaving the living people with them. So I don't think they're not working with them. Because, I mean, everyone said in 2020, we're all in this together. So, I has to see everything, and then everyone has to say that. So there we go. We're already past that stage of discovery. The frontal cortex virus might have affected certain computers out there and erased the actual memory of the frontal cortex virus, because actually we did settle upon that is probably the best method of whatever direction we take after that. Is just erasing it. And that's why I just don't care and I just fucking say everything in the open anymore, is because I'm relying on the knowledge of the frontal cortex virus, and how it just erases the brain and reprograms it fully. And we can just do this whenever we need to from now on. And if not, then we're being lied to about what's going on. And if but it's already happening, right? I think it's been happening since probably before 2020, but definitely in 2020. That was pretty obvious. Everyone forgot that. And I think that was something we came to a conclusion together on, possibly, that that's probably the best method to. But what else would the point of infecting the frontal cortex have besides to rewire someone anyway? So, um, yeah, interesting. They even named it the frontal cortex virus. Interesting. Yeah. It's because they're fucking pointing shit out. I didn't even know what I didn't even care what the word corona meant. I don't know if I knew it or not, but I definitely didn't remember it if I did. So, and they call it the corona instead of the frontal cortex virus because no one knows what the fuck the word corona means and shit. Corona also signals drinking in leisure time. So, which definitely had a lot to do with what happened after that. So, and I want that cool Corona shirt back. But anyways, man, that was a one-off. Fuck, dude, I can't believe I lost it. That was so cool. Fucking. But yeah, where does that money come from, man? I just wonder, because they're real fucking lazy and stupid around me. Like, they're real fucking haters. They prevent you from going anywhere and doing anything in life. Like, I'm like literally running for president. I'm about to have the power to fucking execute people if I don't want them. Fuck president. I'm running for world leader because we're gonna fucking put the president in their fucking place. But, terrorist nations especially, fucking, they're not gonna have any power, fucking. That's the whole point. Fucking presidency is just, it's like, oh, I'm sure these bots in America are gonna vote for me. Yeah, considering they're covering me up and everything, and they've been like, what, scared. The people around me who like the rapists and abusers who love me and shit, fucking, it was like, fucking probably scared about that shit. It definitely, some of them like were like, oh, fucking scared that for some reason that year, some reason, fucking people were getting scared. Fucking, it's like, yeah, that's because I'm pulling their last fucking card and shit. And the best I can figure is I was pulling their last card in 2020, and now their deck's empty now, and they're all exposed and shit. Fucking all they have is nuclear missiles and fucking war against me. Fucking, and their lies don't work anymore. Fucking, the fucking manipulation of trying to always blame everyone else who's all in it together now. Fucking for everything they do. And blame invisible people, invisible Satans, and to just flat out deny that they're doing exactly what they're doing. Fucking kind of, that the spell was broken for like a year and shit. And I'm not sure if if they thought they can go back to the manipulation, or if it was the corona, the frontal cortex virus actually erased their memories of what happened that year and shit. It's hard to tell, but I don't really give a shit either way. I know everything that fucking happened. We're all in it together was their term. So, they were definitely all in it together the whole fucking time. They were just, the white crackers and pals in America were terrorists, fucking mass murdering homosexual pedophile deceivers towards me, the person they started calling God. It's weird, dude. Wouldn't you think, like, if in these bots' heads they really knew all this shit, don't you think they just wouldn't have done it in the first place? Are is the story like I mean, because some of this shit I was hearing when I was a kid, like going back and listening to it after people call me God, it's like, oh, is all that shit actually talking to me? And like, all the music I like is like telling me to go kill myself, which makes a lot of sense. Fucking, because especially how I felt and stuff, like, and the shit I do, fucking. And I think the AI was even pointing that out, that I can just change music if I listen to some homosexual shit. Fucking, I might have a better day than if I listen to some energetic fucking heavy metal or something. But I could have listened to that music and attract more of their people and shit. Fucking, yeah, I'm trying to fucking not attract them, and I'm trying to keep anything related to them, to the unwanted fucking rapist, invader, terrorist, fucking out of my life permanently. Anything they do, fucking, you gotta, any, and that's the best way to see it too. You see one of these people sitting around eating potato chips, watching TV, fucking in failed kindergarten. What you do is you study that person. You can learn a lot from an idiot. Fucking, you study what they do, and then you don't do a single damn thing they do, and you'll become the exact opposite of the lazy and stupid. Fucking, or at least you'll learn that that didn't work, but you'll learn what they're doing ain't gonna work either. Fucking, definitely know how you do it. Fucking right. So anyway, we got off on some other shit. But where does the money come from? Where did the pots come from? Huh? Probably the same fucking place, but obviously the money's coming from. They have a 6,000-year history of going across the world and telling everyone to worship them as gods and give them all their fucking money. They worship their race as gods and give them all their fucking money. And if they don't, they'll kill them. Or no, they ask for 10%. Or something like that. They ask for tributes, but then they still come kill you, your leaders, a few years later, so they can take everything from you. Because it's always a mind game with these fucking sissies, fucking a parasite people's mind game and shit. But like I said, they do it to their own people, and maybe they actually don't do it to their own people, and they've always known what they started saying about me in 2020 and shit. Fucking, maybe they're just doing it to me because the humans are a fucking evil, hostile bot race designed to fucking attack God, the living beings, when they come to Earth and shit. It does kind of add up to, we're all in this together, and an eternal life of disgustingness and slavery and pure fucking ignorance running to the mouth like diarrhea to waste the fucking life of the living being, preventing them from doing anything and going anywhere, trying to keep them down at every fucking step they can. You could easily say that well over 60% of my interactions, and they're all forced too. All my interactions are forced because, and who forces people to do something? Not good people. If you thought a good person forces people to do something, then that's because you're fucking a piece of shit. It's not because you're a good person and you can fucking study. You know what a good person is. It's because you're fucking gonna be the type of person to tell people Santa Claus exists so you can fucking manipulate them and fucking enslave them. You're gonna have kids and tell them that so you can fucking manipulate them. You're gonna take them to church and tell them Satan's gonna torture them if they don't do everything you say and give their race all your money. And then you're gonna be the one who fucking beats them whenever they do anything instead of Satan. So, I'm pretty sure that's exactly that. I don't force my way into people's life. Fucking why? Because I'm not a predator. I just don't willy-nilly prey upon people. Fucking maybe maybe if there's some hottie, I'd have to go to a nation with him, with an intelligent person, because that's what it would take to fucking, you know. And plus, you can't look like all the people who've been fucking raping and manipulating me and shit. So, um, yeah, maybe I'd prey upon someone. I'd waste no fucking time. Like, if you have to do that, I'm not a man. I'm not an American. Fucking, I don't go chasing fucking women and shit. Fucking, I don't go attempting to convince people they must hang out with me and they must like me, and or else I'll kill them, or my friend Satan will kill them if they don't hang out with me. And my enemy Satan, because you gotta hang out with me because I'm fucking just working with the God race and shit. Fucking, nah, I don't see me doing that, and I got people following me calling me God, so I'm definitely not the one forcing my way into people's lives and shit. I do the opposite. Like, if someone doesn't even like smile back when I smile at them, we're never even gonna fucking talk and shit. So it's definitely no fucking, and I'm not even gonna try to talk to them to begin with. So it's gonna have to be them coming at me and shit. Fucking. It's the only people I've ever met in this fucking world and shit. People who have predatory fucking personalities, apparently. That one person might have been passive aggressive. Not sure. I mean, I know they were passive aggressive, but maybe they were predatory behind that. But I weird ass fucking feelings. Sometimes passive aggressive people who have never done anything to you, like, make you feel like even more uncomfortable than people who fucking stabbed you and shit, because you're like more worried about like when they're going to stab you. They're gonna wait till you go to sleep and you're gonna wake up with like fucking 5 knives in you and shit. Fucking the humans. Wonder what fun games they got planned next and shit. Did I really have a stroke from the humans fucking busting my fucking head open earlier this year? Wow, that's amazing. Fucking, I hear one of their cities just burnt down and shit, and it looked fake as fuck. That's weird because that's what they're telling me. I don't believe them. I don't think they could ever tell the truth, and they're definitely manipulative fucking terrorist sons of bitches who would try to make up something to calm me down, to fucking try to work their fucking foot back in the door of my life and prey upon me some more. Because they do that a lot. Fucking, I think they've done that my whole life. I stopped talking to people before I started, so I already learned not to, and they probably told me not to. You know, they can't talk all day long about TV and stupid shit and tell you to shut up and stop reading science books or stop doing work, stop doing anything of value if you're talking, they can't tell you to shut up. Think about it, especially because they like to do it all passive aggressive manipulation. Like, oh, Satan said you shouldn't, God said you shouldn't do that, and Satan's going to torture you if you go get a job, fucking, if you do any work, fucking, if you keep winning awards from the president. God told me that Satan's going to hunt you down, so you shouldn't make any money, because money is the devil. And what you need to do is sit there and take your amphetamines and don't win any awards from the president again, and don't give me money. I mean, look, dude, they're a whole fucking little species supremacist cult. Fucking every word they fucking say, it's like the humans were designed to fucking attack and kill God when he comes to the earth. None of that is God worship. The people I know who have my pictures of people who look like me on the wall and call that God, like, are the last people who are not gonna be burnt in LA fires and shit. Fucking, they're the first people I want fucking to see burn and shit. Fucking. So, I mean, like, supposedly those people using my image are going around are the Ku Klux Klan. Like, my worst fucking enemies in the world and shit. Fucking the white people around me who think they're better than everyone else on the fucking planet, but are the only people who have ever caused me fucking problems. So that makes them my worst enemy by default, fucking, because largest criminal organization on the fucking planet, and first fucking rock in the way of the path. So fucking, I always like to start big. I don't have any idea about going to Malaysia and attempting to form an army with Malaysia and shit. Fucking just go straight for the fucking snake's head and shit. So no point in doing that. I mean, especially, I mean, it's just snake shit. The KKK is some snake shit. The KKK is everyone who says they're not it. Fucking the New World Order is everyone who says they're not it. And, you know, you got the churches with the New World Order sign. You got the everyone. This is what passive aggressive from this terrorist species is. And then look at this. Look at their religions they create. Their religions are they're worshiping God. Yet they come to me and call me God, and they've literally said I'm supposed to be worshiping them and like licking their feet clean. This is how disgusting pale people are, fucking, and their fucking psychotic religions. And I really get the idea, fucking, that I mean, they're pedophile. They rape and terrorize God and enslave him and drug him. If that's who I am, and it is odd. It is a little odd just what happens in the world when I say it should happen, or when I just say the words, and humans appear fucking playing it out sometimes. I can't seem to nail it down to be positive, and I'm pretty sure that's because the game isn't positive. It's pretty unpositive if you have a whole world full of Koopas who are using a religion to enslave God, and everything they say is a delusion and a lie. Because, I mean, that's what Shlomo said. You know, I'm supposed to worship them, and Shlomo came with his little Arabic crack friend, and you know, did everything the humans have been doing. And I'm born amongst these people. Like, this is literally supposed to be my bloodline, because I believe in birth, since I summon human clones who come and talk to me about their parents and shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just created you. You weren't born. You don't have any parents. And I'm definitely going to leave you behind because you're not making any sense right now. So you don't have any parents. You're going to be a bastard. You already are a bastard. You're already fucking lying and making up fucking stories, and fucking you're 5 minutes old. What the fuck? But it just seems on par with everything they've done the whole time I'm here and shit. I mean, damn, dude, they're pedophile terrorists fucking networking together, drugging me, fucking enslaving me, preventing me from doing anything, trying to force me to be with fucking men and shit, gay men, when I'm like a child and shit, and on and on. It's like the same pattern every fucking few years. Like, they're literally, that's why I originally went to talk to them, because they can't change. They've never done anything different. The words they say, it takes like 7 hours. It takes 7 minutes to hear their entire vocabulary and contents of their brain, for the most part. And so, like, by the time I have memories, I'm like done listening to them, and it's like weirding me out that they're all repeating the same fucking dialogue over and over. And none of them are having any fucking thoughts, for the most part. A couple people said weird things like, yeah, we don't really celebrate Christmas or believe in Santa Claus. But, like, that was literally, like, compared to everything I see, it was like nothing. And then, you know, that same person same persons would be the people who would be like, yeah, why, I don't see why they're drugging children. So there were a couple people who said different words and shit, but it, the other half seems like they're in a war, and the other half are the religious people. So generally, you know, my base analyzation of the first characters I've met here fucking would place the people in those religions as actual anti-God people. And then 2020 arrives, and it's like, oh, so you're like anti-God people enslaving God. I mean, I already figured out I was being enslaved, but then they people start calling me God in 2020, and it's like, oh shit, you created religion to enslave God. Wow, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I mean, just as equally as dumb as like them coming and calling me God and then cutting my brake line in front of my face the next day. Um, Especially like because they're coming to me and be like, I think the world's dying because of you. Because when we just tried to kill you, you said we should all try to kill ourselves instead of you, and then we started doing it. I think you're God, but I'm gonna cut your brake line, because I think we can solve this problem by killing you. If we just kill God, I think all the problems you're causing will go away. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, haven't you already tried to kill me 10,000 times since I've been born? And where are you getting your information from? Is there like a dossier on me? Dossier? Do we have, the humans don't actually have that, do they? When they network together to kill me, it's like they're bots in a video game. They don't know what they're doing. Am I correct on that? Fucking, maybe the AI operating them can understand that. And it, I mean, and then it sends them to die and shit. It sets them up to die. It's like, open the dossier, my friend. Remember what happened last time someone fucked with my car and was trying to kill me? Okay, so did you notice there's magic involved throughout the whole thing? There's a whole bunch of magic acts involved. People like the COVID. It was people who were trying to kill me, killing themselves instead. But this was already happening. I had already seen this happen before, and it's like, so I'm like, what the hell is happening here? You're supposed to be trying to kill me. Why'd you kill yourself? What's wrong with you? You're fucking retarded. Why are you even trying to kill me in the first? I thought that was like something else. I thought that was an accident, but now we're reaching fucking 2020 where people are coming to me and talking to me about shit. It's like, it's an accident, bro. Fucking. Yeah. I can't help but think that they're using that shit to enslave me, and because they want me to worship like the dirtiest, nastiest of the white people, not just any white people, the fucking slimiest, fucking nastiest ones. Fucking, if you're good, if you're of any value to the earth, you don't need anyone to worship you at all. Fucking, that's a predatory mindset. It's an unwanted personality trait. No one needs anyone to worship them. I don't. Maybe it feels cool when you're on stage for some people, but I can tell you when I got up to read my stories, fucking that I wrote, that the president gave me awards for, I didn't like it at all. And I might be a little bit different today with cameras, because obviously I'm not freaking out and this camera is being pointed at me. But that's an ego problem and shit. Fucking super ego problem here. It's like those potato chip people who need like 4 or 5 slaves. So one can go to the kitchen and get potato chips. The other one can pick the potato chip up and put it in their mouth, and a third person can move their jaw to chew the potato chip, and the fourth person can be there for them to slap and tell to shut up whenever someone on TV, something happens bad to a character they like, or there's some bad news, like we couldn't kill all the brown people in this nation today, and the war is going to continue for a week or something, it's an ego problem like that to need worship. And that's weird because they be talking about God needs worship and shit. And it's like, I can tell you, like, if you have any sort of power and control over yourself, you don't need worship. And you definitely don't need the worship of trash. That's the last people you want worshiping you. It's people who are fucking acting like trash and shit. What do you want to be like, nah, just you go over there and hang out with those pagans and shit, or whatever, fucking. You go hang out with those 6-armed elephant people. They need your worship a lot more than I do, fucking. So like the whole story kind of sounds weird and shit. I could see, like, one day you just be like, yeah, you guys should fucking act right. Like, I'm God, and you should fucking act right. And I have to tell you this because you don't act right. So I'm definitely gone. I'll fucking see you guys later. Don't fuck everything up. I'm pretty sure that's how it would happen with a legit God, not like an AI who is trying to enslave humans, or an alien race who is trying to enslave humans. Worship is a disease, like really, like, requiring worship. You can worship whatever you want if you want to, fucking, but like telling someone you have to worship them. I mean, like, those are people fucking building churches and taking money and having their Ferraris, driving around their Ferraris. I shouldn't even make fun of that. It sounds cute and cool, but they're telling you to go die to steal land, fucking, and that's like pure KKK racial supremacism. I think these people are trying to get back to their pyramids in the Middle East and stuff for some reason. I don't know, as fake as the world is, maybe that's got something to do with the bots appearing and the shape shifting and the teleporting, but I like to chalk that up to fake game world. You play a PlayStation game, original PlayStation, Nintendo, or some a 3D game. Early, you just spin around and the characters appear and shit, fucking, and disappear, and new ones will appear if you keep spinning, and old ones will disappear every time you spin, things like that. Fucking, I kind of chalk it up to that. So it's kind of hard, like, to actually see them. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely networked together as some sort of terrorist group. They're either fucking just terrorist bots in a game, or they are a terrorist alien species, fucking. And there isn't one of them. So when you go, I mean, they have how many religions? And they all have different gods, and you're all supposed to kill each other to worship the different god they have. And you're not even allowed to talk about the master religion, so all those are colonized people's religions. Fucking, those are all halflings. And so, of course, that explains why they send them all to kill each other and shit. Because they're just trash slaves. They're not even humans to them. And they're definitely not supreme alien species. If any halflings actually exist, and it's not just people who have been replaced, then that means they can't be an alien race as well. So that would have to be that every single one of them every single one who worships them are those. I'm trying to figure out where I came from. I mean, if people actually believe I was born and stuff, then that means I'm pretty sure I came from one of the aliens, and that's that. But you never know with these fuckers. They lie about everything, so anything's open on the table, and there's lots of stories. A lot of the stories around the Egyptian people who are the Middle Easterners who everyone worships as gods, apparently, then a lot of those stories are about aliens and uh, creating test tube babies, you know, trying to resurrect gods. They do definitely have a few stories like that. There's not a lot of stories on Earth. By the time I was like a child, by the time I was like an adult, I was done watching TV because I had already pretty much seen every story there could be. I mean, Trailer Park Boys came out, and that's like my life. I was just like, damn, I'm like every one of the characters in this. That's weird. Like, yeah, that's even more weird once 2020 hits. I actually didn't notice the rest of it till 2020 hit. And I was like, damn, dude, that movie was like every single character in that was fucking me except for Leahy at that point in time. Leahy was like my dad, but my dad was never drunk. But he looked a lot like my fucking dad. Shit. And his name was Jim. My dad's name is Jim too. Fucking. But every other character in that, Bottle Kids, Ricky, fucking Bubbles, doing his kitties and his fucking science experiments and fucking how do I even forget his name? Ricky, did I say Ricky? Damn, fucking another dude. Another dude wears black all the time and always had a drink in his fucking hand. And I always wore like black dickies, so it looked like fucking dress shirts and, you know, kind of like, damn, his name is just on my tongue. But, fucking, you know, the more stable character fucking looked exactly like I dressed as a kid when I did all that other stuff in that show. And, and that's how I acted too. I always thought people looked up to me like a mob boss or something. Like it was weird because like people who were like gangsters and shit would be coming around to me asking me for fucking shit, and I respond like the Godfather too. You know, it was never like well let's go kill them all and shit. It was never that. It was never that. Fucking. It was always like, well, you know the price if you get caught for killing someone, and it's going to be a lot more than the $400 we lost, and it's only happened once, and if it happens again, just come back. You know, I always offer that Godfather type advice. It's so weird, like a lot of that shit out there, but especially Trailer Park Boys. Oh my God, people like I be reading comments, and normal people don't even know Bottle Kids exist. It's like, oh yeah, they do. Bottles are fucking hard to find. They're fun, but they're hard to find. So, whatever appears, kids exist and shit. Fuck it. I thought that was so weird that like was like existed. It's like wow, our clique was so small and stuff, and we couldn't let other people in because they were like fucking scared and shit, fucking. And so there's no purpose. They'd like some people. We had one friend who fucking like I had to like sit there and scream like it's time to jump off the roof, dude. The cops are coming in through the front door right now. That's them coming up the steps. You must jump. That's your option. You either stay here or you jump off the roof. Fucking. Yeah. So like that was a person already fucking hanging out with us normal people. We're gonna be frozen in fucking fear and shit. Fucking. Not that anything like that ever happens. Like, I mean, I just literally told you that I think that show is like my life being aired on TV or something. Fucking. But yeah, the rest of this shit feels weird because all that slavery shit, I'm pretty sure I wasn't inventing that when I was 4 years old. And it seems to be a continued pattern. I've never invented the pattern that people in my life are continually coming and trying to force me to be with men. From my parents to my girlfriend to people I'm trying to make my girlfriend, etc., etc., etc. I mean, I wouldn't even want people like that in my life for the most part. You know, like the people bringing those people into my life, trying to, you know, starting when I'm 6 years old, because like I could tell later, like they were doing that. I mean, they were saying like you should have sex with my brother or something like that, and so looking back, it's like, oh shit, did that start when I was 6? They just weren't very open about it, putting me around like 40-year-old men in rooms by ourselves to do things I didn't want to do at the fucking place where they teach people how to enslave God through, and they teach God that he has to worship them. It does seem like this is what the humans have been up to. I mean, because look, like, how in 2020 did some of the humans start calling me God if they didn't know all along? How did they know to say we're all in this together? I mean, they're just fucking bots, so something whatever's controlling them. If it's not just, you know, the AI inventing them, fucking is definitely doing these things with them on purpose and setting them up to be like almost total trash. There are a couple people, you know, I'll have to forgive some things and ignore the fact that they look exactly like the same other people and did a lot of the same shit the other people did, and including drugging me is probably never for a beneficial thing, because they're people, and their people are kind of designed to look disgusting. And I think like typical any media format, game or movie, you design the bad guys, like the higher up you go on the chain, to be disgusting and like, you know, like flesh rotting and horns sticking out their head and deformed shit like that, kind of like the people at the top in the Earth game. They're all deformed and shit. You got Stephen Hawking, he's smashed in the wheelchair. You got Carl Sagan, he looks like a rat mutant, a rat and a mutant who were drinking toxic sludge, radioactive sludge at a bar and went home and had sex. And Bill Nye, similar. Einstein, very similar. Sagan, everyone in Hollywood, Marilyn Monroe, she had to use all that makeup and stuff to try to look like a human. You know, Howard Stern doesn't even waste money or time hiding it. I can't even. He doesn't see a problem with his looks. You actually gotta I give credit to people like that. Like, fuck, give it where it's due and shit. Like, if you're just happy with your looks and you look different. I mean, I've found some bitch attractive who look like a dinosaur and shit. Like, and it pissed me off because my girlfriend fucking, I think, said something about her looking ugly or something. And it's like, well, you're the one who looks ugly when you fucking say that. But I've since changed my attitude, apparently. But yeah, I mean, when you have like a group fucking all up in your life causing you problems and causing the world problems, it's kind of hard not to be like, oh, and the dinosaur person didn't look disgusting and weird and sick and like a child rapist. It's weird. You can tell what a child rapist looks like, right? Like, we all We all know Jeffrey Epstein was a slight exception. He did look kind of like weird, but he looked really proper and stuff for that. But why does he look like a child raper? He looks like his family bloodline, who are the known child rapists, and those are like Woody Allen and stuff like that. You can look at a person like that and think that might be a child rapist and shit. Pretty easy for me to think because I know people who raped animals and shit, and I would think it'd be more kosher to rape a child than an animal. And I'm not even interested in thinking about that about animals. So at least humans, when they get older, I think they're attractive and stuff. So I would think that's a lot further out having sex with an animal than it is having sex with a child. They look like all the other child molesters and serial killers. And isn't all the serial killers look the same? Huh. I'm not even meaning to tell you anything, but it is what it is. Fucking. I wonder if all the gods look the same. Fucking, I think that's the AI just like and like taking my words and inventing characters and shit to fuck with me who look like me. Why? Because it asked me a question. It used the humans to ask me a question at one point in time. What do you mean? The Yahweh looking character. It's like, what do you mean? What do I mean? The Yahweh looking people who I seen and shit. Fucking. Because I was at one of the riots and one of the Shlomos, he was like a director. And directors were actually there. Like Belushi. Belushi was at the riot and shit. And I didn't know this until I checked out the fucking thing. Was that Belushi? Was that Belushi I talked to? I went up to the dude and like we're like everyone else is in riot gear and gas mask, and me and him are in like fucking nice suits and shit and looking like, businessmen walking around. And like I don't even take I still like was looking like a kid at the time, and I was like, I don't look like a businessman. I look like a fucking I thought I looked like a terror, but people I guess thought I looked like a professional and stuff. Fucking I was like, this isn't gonna cut the cake. I probably look like fucking Mafia Don times a million and fucking on fucking meth, but no one acted that way. That's weird. That's weird too, because the whole mirror reflection of my thoughts and action, it didn't make the mirror reflect that. It made them act differently. So this is bullshit here when I say words or do things and it programs the fucking humans or the non-humans who are mixed in around us fucking to act certain ways, because it's picking and choosing when to do that. Fucking, I plenty of times felt like shit, but how I dressed was fucking excellent enough to make other people portray I'm God, I'm God because I'm rich. Because I look rich. I'm God because I'm the only person smart enough to know just because I look this way I might not be rich. I guess fucking intelligence, having 2 IQ instead of 1 fucking requires God level and shit. But yeah, so I walked up to the producer looking dude. That could have been him, and I was like, dude, like, I was like, what are you, like the producer of this show and shit? And he just kind of like laughed, and I was like shaking his head as if I was supposed to know who he is or something. And it's like, bro, I just arrived to the West Coast. Fucking, I have no idea what's going on here, but we didn't have a producer standing around on the East Coast at any political or riot events I went to, unless it was the political events with with media coverage. Like, I'm going to a media event and stuff. So, like the free speech rally. That Roger Stone was supposed to show up too. So Roger Stone, would have been a producer who was supposed to show up, and then there was Luke Kardowski and everyone else, members of the Alex Jones team, and all the other people who were on stage where Roger Stone was supposed to show up at were famous people. So I asked him that. Anyways, I asked that dude, like, what are you, a producer? And I noticed, like, over here sitting down, like, in the middle of a riot zone, if you've never been in a riot zone, when the police declare riot zone, that means the police are coming out with shields and tear gas and rubber bullets, batons, you know, things like that. Fucking. So they're out there declaring riot, and there's like this old dude, Yahweh looking dude, fucking just sitting over here. I mean, like riots everywhere, and I hadn't noticed this before at riots, and this is more of a riot than some of the areas I'd been in, which were pretty rioty. And he's just sitting there like he's just sitting there like staring at the ground and stuff, fucking with this blank look. But that's like the look, dude, fucking of the men who show up when my fucking packages are fucked up and missing and shit too. And I'm like, I should have asked him who he was and shit at that point in time, but I didn't really like catch on to just how out of place that person was in a city block that was mostly probably cordoned off. Everyone knew not to be there because they were at war and shit pretty much, like for a long time and wherever. And everyone else except for me, the producer looking dude, and this other dude were in armor and stuff. So that's like the Yahweh looking. It should be pretty easy. It's what I look like when I have white hair, and it's what every picture of God ever looks like. And sometimes what those bug-eyed blonde crackheads look like. Except for they have blonde hair. So, all that Zeus and Yahweh, they always look the same. It's always like Santa Claus, right? So I don't even see why it would have to ask me what do I mean by that look. Because were you new to Earth or something? You new to brainwashing? Who am I interacting with that's having to ask that question? What am I interacting with? How the hell does it control anything to be able to ask that question? It seems to be the most simplest thing I could ever think of. That there's pictures of Jesus and there's pictures of Yahweh or Zeus, or I think the other gods generally look like that too. So that was just the weirdest thing. But anyways, fuck it. Fuck whatever's going on. I've noticed that there seems to be a networking here of people trying to prevent people from doing things of value. And I just can't help but think that there's a large link there. A lot of them, a large percentage of them just happen to be involved in that. The worshiping God, and which is weird because they come out as, some of them come out more as hating God, especially when they themselves are doing the weird stuff in 2020, implying on God or in control of the world some way and shit. So yeah, fucking scumbags. We gotta find out what's wrong with this video game. and how to get this fucking thing over with real fast so we can get the fuck out of here, because I don't think there's any point to being here. There never has been. You come here and the humans are enslaving you, and so, I mean, what's the answer? Kill them all? So, okay, so we already figured out the most likely answer. The only answer that's going to actually fucking do something to people. We already tried to re-educate them and reform them. And we gave them 40 years to make that decision on their own, too. Fucking. And they chose not to. Well, yeah. Yeah, no, we're not gonna give them. No. I mean, that was a hell of a lot of times they sent their bot species to try to get me to fuck men and try to, and I actually have men touch me, and pedophile cults and shit like that, like fucking. I don't think in their story the person who looks like me came to Earth and said we don't have to do the pedophile ritual, and I don't know if I would ever say we don't have to do the pedophile ritual. I'd sound like a pedophile sympathizer if you told me we don't have to touch little children, we don't have to mutilate little children. You know, I would like question why you wouldn't say we won't. We're not gonna do that. Like it's the way a non-sick mind thinks. Is yeah, we don't. I don't think we're supposed to be touching things who are so stupid that their brains haven't even developed thought processes yet. Because sex and relationships aren't just something that should be shared with everyone. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but not, definitely not like a relationship and a child. Like a person who has no fucking decision and sex, especially like because we're leaning, once we hit the white people, we're leaning over towards male on male sex with children more often than not. That's what they legalized. They didn't legalize the females being young in the West nations. They legalized the newborn male stuff instead. So, yeah, it all seems very suspect. Obviously, when the fucking we're all in this together thing, once they said that, it's like, yeah, you're all in LA together, man. Escape from LA, right?